All right, here we go. Kicking off another brand new hour of the Steve Gruber Show. Glad to have you along for the conversation. I am your voice of reason in this wilderness of stupidity. God bless America. I'll fight for you from the foxhole freedom every single day. Here are three big things you need to know this hour. Number one, it seems that the former president of the University of Michigan has got some real problems now because he tried to go to the University of Florida. That all fell apart, but he had already quit at Michigan. You can't go forward and you can't go back. Santa Ono is tied up. Number two, speaking of the University of Michigan, Chinese influence in Ann Arbor date backs at least 2 decades, probably farther, but at least 2 decades back, where the Chinese tentacles came in and became a problem. And number three, speaking of that, the arrest of Chinese nationals and agricultural terrorism, potentially, it's making headlines all over the country. Ag terrorism, fungus that could destroy our wheat, corn, rice, barley, being ignored almost entirely by the governor, the attorney general, and I say, what's up, ladies? What's up? Not taking this seriously? An attack on our food supply in America by way of the University of Michigan and Chinese students there, and nothing, not a peep from Whitmer or Nessel. Gretchen Whitmer, where are you? Dana Nessel, where are you? I get this from my news company, MichiganNewsSource.com. They are the best. Numerous articles on this very important story. Republicans speaking out about the lack of comments from Whitmer and Nessel over multiple arrests of Chinese nationals smuggling biological goods into America. Been called a serious threat to national security, a real threat to our food supply. Over the last week, 3 Chinese nationals with ties to the University of Michigan charged with federal crimes. The U.S. Attorney announcing Young King Jin, 33, Zun Yung Lu, 34, charged June 3 for trying to smuggle in what was called a dangerous biological pathogen into the country so they could work on it at the University of Michigan labs. On June 9, Shenghuan Han, charged with smuggling goods into the U.S. and making false statements. Han, invited as a visiting scholar at UofM, and had previously mailed biological materials to the University of Michigan labs more than 10 years ago. This is the same state, Michigan, where they're trying to have these mega sites so Chinese companies can bring in Chinese nationals to build highly toxic batteries on farmland. Brilliant. Brilliant. These 2 cases, back to where I was, have made international news. Organizations such as the BBC and CNN covering it extensively. Whitmer and Nessel have not released any statements. Neither have responded to emails sent by Michigan News Source. Nobody responding. Governor Whitmer and A.G. Nessel's silence is deafening and unacceptable, says State Senator Eric Nesbitt, who happens to be running for governor. We have serious national security threat here, and their refusal to even acknowledge it is absurd. Hoping no one notices while foreign operatives exploit our state's institutions is another example of their long history of failed leadership. They need to wake up. We must stand with President Trump to secure our nation and immediately terminate visas for anyone affiliated with the CCP to stop these dangerous activities in Michigan and America. He is exactly right, as Eric Nesbitt. Exactly right. We have to stop this. We have to stand for this flag right here. Right here. Megan Reckling is a Republican activist, also critical of the silence coming from Whitmer and Nessel, noting that the Chinese national issues with the University of Michigan include multiple incidents. A criminal complaint filed against Ho Jingao for illegally registering to vote and voting in the 2024 presidential election and then fleeing the country, going back to China. In October, 5 Chinese nationals, University of Michigan students all, charged with espionage while interloping on Camp Grayling. That comes from Congressman John Molinar. It's extremely significant that neither Whitmer nor Nestle have publicly addressed the growing number of serious incidents involving Chinese nationals and the epicenter in Ann Arbor, Michigan, at the University of Michigan. We're talking about espionage, election interference, and now biological smuggling. This isn't fringe conspiracy, it's national security. They are exactly right. And as I look at these articles from Michigan News Source, in-depth coverage, great coverage, MichiganNewsSource.com if you want to find out more. Xinhuan Han, a national student arrested and charged Sunday at Detroit Metropolitan Airport, exhibiting very suspicious behavior. Han, a visiting scholar at the University of Michigan, pursuing a Ph.D. from the College of Life Science and Technology in the Huazhong University of Science and Technology. When she first applied for her student visa March 18, 2025, her English was so bad she couldn't answer basic questions about herself or her research. Then 9 days later, when again applying for her student visa, she spoke credibly about her educational background, current studies, and postgraduate plans according to the criminal complaint. Bizarre. She couldn't speak English. 9 days later, she was fluent. Han also deleted the contents of her electronic devices 3 days before entering the U.S., something she said she did to start fresh once in America. Lies, lies, and more lies. The college she was attending, Huazhong University of Science and Technology, playing a big role in promoting Chinese influence in Michigan. Located where? Wuhan, China. That must make you feel good. It's located in Wuhan, the capital of Hubei. 11 million people, as well as the home to the Wuhan Institute of Virology, the origin of COVID-19. Folks, this is a huge, troubling problem, a growing problem, a sphere of influence that we must be concerned with. We must be. Because it's dangerous. Targeting our food supply. That's what this is about. Targeting our food supply. Very dangerous. We're digging deep into this, my friends. I'm not going to let this one go. Now, when the corn, beans, wheat, rice, barley, and all the other food crops are being targeted by the Chinese Communist Party, which they are. Interesting. Talking to farmers on this program, I was told this sort of a fungus, if not contained in the first year, could cause a 50% loss in harvest. 50%. Creating massive inflation, by the way, because demand would go through the roof. The cost would go way up. Supply goes down, cost goes up. Simple stuff. I'm going to take a break here. Ivy's going to join me after the break. Maybe have a little bit of a stress-free segment coming up with Ivy. You don't want to miss it here on the Steve Gruber Show, but we'll have a lot more on the ag terrorism in the days to come. I'll be right back.